Hello and welcome. Currently 9:13 p.m. Eastern Time on the 27th day of June 2021. My name is Derek and this is the Money Charts channel where, like always, all bets trades and amongst alike each his own risk to, of course, their own reward. Hey, managing risk reward, to me, something that's very important. And risk reward management is always job number one for myself. So all that intro stuff out of the way. Take a look at Bitcoin, and just recently I found out, yesterday I found out that Binance is no longer going to be servicing people from the province of Ontario, country Canada, which is where I'm located. About close to 15 million people live in Ontario, which is a bit under 5% of the North American population, and then much lower when you include like Australia, uh, Europe, and all those other so many other areas, of course, that can be on Binance. So it is just a small number. Meaning, of course, why I'm saying that part is how much of that is going to affect the cryptocurrency market. As it states, they state that all positions must be closed by December 31st of this year, which is another half year, because the half year is almost at the end on the 30th. And from the sounds of it, it looks like you can still trade, and that until then, because all positions must be closed, but can you make new positions? I have yet to get an email from Binance stating such in any form. Nothing yet. When I log out of my page, everything's fine, and nothing, like nothing new, nothing different at all. Go in there, I check my deposits and withdrawals section, see any cryptos I have. I can trade them, deposit, withdraw like normal. I was doing that a little today. So I made one small trade, trading, or a couple trades really to get some theta fuel, and then sending the T fuel to my wallet, which will be interesting because that's the only coin in which I own that I can't trade on any other exchange, which is really only two for the most part, that is not Binance. And those two exchanges, Bittrex and Huobi Global. But for whatever, I don't know why Huobi Global doesn't have theta fuel, but whatever. It does mean that within such, I'm going to have to develop, well, how am I going to use my trading strategy, portfolio management moving into the year 2022. And based on not only my bets, as I stated in my last video, but just from what I stated, I'm hoping what I think is going to happen doesn't happen, or if it does, it happens fast. And that is a move down to the 20,000 area. I'm going to talk a little bit about the recent action in here a bit. Still nothing to get too excited about, but I was surprised by yesterday's 7% update. That's for sure. With that being said, I was asked recently, okay, if the price goes down to 20, are you going to buy? No. No, not even close. And the reason for such, the last time I ever did buy cryptocurrencies would have been back, right in here. Probably somewhere around March of 24th-ish or so. Right in this bottom. Now, maybe I might have bought in here. I can't, and they probably would have bought in April in here, but yeah, nowhere above 1200. And then throughout this run, I've been able to do well within the portfolio where I have never needed to. So for me, just based on my personal portfolio setup, I got more than I maybe should have in the cryptos. But for what it's worth, I've been able to just balance my portfolio well rather, from basically all this time on, really, even on the way up in here. So from late all of this year and late last year up until this May move in here. Last time I bought silver was just before this fell. There's no need to buy it at these prices, and I'm glad I got what I was able to get on the just-in-case scenarios, knowing that it could very easily work out that months and maybe years go by, and this goes higher, and it's 90,000, 120, and especially with the other altcoins that I got when they go much higher in the same sort of form. Oh, you could have not bought gold and the silver then, and you could have bought it now and get a better deal, and great. But I also know if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be fortunate that I'm going to have what I do. And if there's going to be a situation in which the market, as it states, or I can't trade as much at the end of the year, probably want to get as much gold and silver. Because one of the things that I've heard way back in the day, the early days of all this type of stuff going on, at least for me, which is the end of the first decade into the second decade of this new millennium, 2008, 29, 10, 11, 12 kind of deal. And this shit's gonna hit the fan at some point, and it's gonna be real. And this is like 13, 14, 12, 10 years ago they were saying this. I'm surprised it's taken this long. But it is what it is. And that's one thing that I've learned from all of this is if you just rush thinking, no, you can't. Sometimes you got to give the benefit of the doubt that things could take, I just don't know how long they're going to take sometimes, I guess is the best way of putting that. Okay. As it goes within Bitcoin in here, we had this down move, continuous lower highs and lower lows from the mid-June highs. Yeah, mid-June highs, we'll say, down to this area. And it's just a matter of time before it starts to have some sort of rally. It's probably going to make a lower high, which of course it did. And then, well, we'll get to that in a bit, which won't be long, but attempts to break it here, anytime you're above the 18 average. If it just fails, not going higher, not correcting well within the 18, it's a failed attempt. So this is a failed attempt getting above on June 20th in the afternoon. It broke out here June 21st, no go. Then it broke out here, corrected to the 18, stayed at a decent amount of time in this period here of higher highs and higher lows. So now it finally had this move, like stated. Probably going to have a lower high below 40,000, no change. Its high was 35,000. Okay, and the reason why is because it's a big move. And it really was not that great of a move. As you can see in here how many consecutive red candles, so key low, key high. Highs and lows known after the fact. So it's now going down, retracing within these lows, breaking down below this level, pretty much giving me all the indications that this thing is going to be going down pretty big. And you have this move where you have this rally up here, okay, no big deal. Come back down in here, down to the 18, okay, everything's fine. No breaking down here from 10 a.m. to this period, and then you have a breakout in here. Oh, wow. Well, still you gotta realize from this point on, okay, now it's like in a range-bound situation. Two key low supports here. One the range of 31,000 to 30, then of course this low down here at like 29 change. But the big deal is getting above this double layer high. These 2 points in here around 35,000. And then these points in here around 35 high change, close to 36. It needs to get at least above that number for me to stay, okay, I'm still, for me to adjust the message to the market to be hopeful, or actually I'm definitely hopeful regardless, but expecting, rather, there to be a good up move coming, and then the down move is not in place. A further note. The one thing, and I learned this mainly through the early trading days, well over a decade ago, within the legacy markets, that if you're going to make a play on something, either long or short, it's all the same on the polar opposite scale. And it doesn't happen. Wowzers. And the reason why I'm saying that is the move action from June 22nd, that's what's really stating it's it. It's resisting this point. We're going to next key level. Next key level is 22,000. Usually pierces extra. The 2017 high was 19,600 and change or so. So you know what? I would expect it to pierce barely below 20. Doesn't mean it's going to happen though. And to finish it off, let's go over just a random, pretty much random anyway, chart I'm going to put up, which is polka dot against the US dollar. And some key Fibonacci lines I put in. I don't know what I put them in. But that's what they look like to me. And on the daily chart, it came down to these levels here, May 19th, 22, 24th. Yeah, close to it here in the end of the month. Had a decent enough rally. Unable to support it here on the 21st of June. And then how has it reacted after that fact? It has just been consolidating with very low volatility, going sideways. I would expect one way or another, I'm going to tell you the two ways, that it's going to have the move go to the next key level of below 976. because it usually pierces extra. So basically 9, 8, whatever. And the two ways are just at some point, with that much going on here, it's just going to go down there concisely. Could take a day, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. Wow, if it takes one, because that would be a 30% loss, but it's not like I've ever seen that before. I have. Well, what's this day here? This is 38. There you go. And we haven't resisted it, though. That's the next way. That it comes down and we come back to where we came from. We support at 2076. Another way of putting this is it's going to be hard to trust any type of rallies until I can see it at least manage to not only get above that level, but show some sort of good setup above that level more than anything. Risk reward management. If you're ever looking to try to try to pickpocket the best prices, wherever you want to look at it, if you're looking to buy. That means having buy orders ready to go at this price, getting ready with alerts, or just checking so often, ready to buy whenever it does happen to get down there. More times than not, how well does that work? Well, what's the risk reward? Obviously, by not wanting to do that, I'm just going to buy now, you buy at 15, whatever. That's where you are. That's where we're going to compare it to. So what percent chances does it have of making a move to where you would buy? And then how much would it cost you? How much would you get? Basically, you get about 50% more. Or 33% more, whatever. And that's one of the reward factors. Now the risk part is this thing doesn't even go there. Maybe even starts to go down, goes to like 1160. Oh, it's almost there, and it doesn't get there. And even if it doesn't even come close, we start to break out. We're at 20. Next thing you know, a week later, we're at 35, and now you miss out on the gain. So there's part of the risk and our reward situation, where if you're just gonna play, well, if it goes down, yeah, I know I could have waited to get a better price, and then so be it. But of course, then you know that either way, maybe it just goes straight up and you win in a market. And this is for any market when I say something like this. But if you were to do something just to buy now, it goes down here, you miss out on the better buying opportunity, and then months or even years later, sometimes it goes back up. You're going to be like, hey, awesome! I bought this at 15. Price action's 155 or something. I bought whatever for every 100 I bought. Yeah, I could have bought 130, but so be it. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye bye.